Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome everyone once again in this class of Ramayana, where we're studying the verses that was spoken to the other sages by Sage Sutta. And in previous class we were discussing about the verse in which he was telling other sages that how this knowledge, this wisdom, of this power of wisdom originated from Narada, which he spoke to Sanat Kumara. And this is how this vast knowledge, this wisdom of Ramayana, what we call Ramayana today, originated from. And that verse was Ramayanam Mahakavyam Sarva Vedeshu Sammatam Sarva Papa Prashamanam Dushtagraha Nivaranam. And here he discusses about the quality of this scripture, of this knowledge that was spoken by Narada. And it says that Sarva Papa Prashamanam, it eradicates, it mitigates all sorts of sin that we have committed in our lives, that people have gone through. And next he says Dushtagraha Nivaranam. He said that whatever bad that is going to happen, that we are feeling is going to happen in our lives by our works, by our bad works before that we did in our lives, and even before this life, in previous births, whatever that has accumulated in form of that has taken a shape and is now ready to give us a fruit of that work. It also helps us during that period, this knowledge, this scripted knowledge of Ramayana. And when we say graha, means dushta graha nivaranam. This graha, this word is made by this root griha grahani. This root is Sanskrit root, which is utilized, which is used for making this word, which means that something that swallows all of our happiness, all of our pleasures, and all sorts of comforts. This is what called graha. It nooses the soul with the ropes of sin and swallows all of its greatness and purity. This is called graha. And when the soul is bound, when it binds the soul with its nooses, with its into its clutches, the soul becomes immobilized, and this is how it grabs away all the dignity and purity of a person. And next he says, in the next verse, Sage Sutta is saying, Duswapna Nashanam Dhanyam Bhukti Mukti Falapradam. Duswapna Nashanam. Swapna means dream. And when I speak about dream, that means I want to tell you that dreams are of two types. There are two classifications of dreams. One is that usually occur when we are asleep, and the other occurs when we are not sleeping. So what is the difference between these two dreams? One is coming when we are sleeping, and that dream is aligned to all of our activities that we do in our entire day, and we have done in our lives, that in our previous days, in earlier days, that have made a story type in our entire existence, and now they are coming up as form of dreams when we are asleep. It may occur in many ways. So this is the dream that comes in the night when we are asleep, when we are deep asleep. And the other dreams comes up when we are not sleeping, like forms of revenge and many sorts of dreams that we dream about, that we desires. All our desires are actually dreams. Whenever we dream something, that is our desire. That's why this word is said, never give up on your dreams. So people say, the great people say that never give up on your dreams. What is dream? This rightful desire that we want to become in our lives. So dreams, this dream that we are dreaming about when we are not sleeping. These are desires. And desires are also two types. There are two types of desires. One is right desire, to become a good person, to become a real person, real human. And the other is to take revenge on someone. This vengeance on someone is a destructive desire. This person did this to me, I'll show him what I am. How dare he did this to me, and now I'll show him off what I really mean, what I am, what I stand for. And now I cut him through his pleasures, his comforts, his happiness. So this desire is destructive desire. And when we fall into that desire, we obstruct our happiness as well as the happiness of the person that is in front of us. And this form, while I am talking about desire, I am swaying in the form of behavior. This is a form of behavior, all right? The vengeful behavior, that is revengeful behavior. And the other sort of behavior is that whatever way a person cheated you, ripped you off, I'm not gonna do the same thing to the person. Because look, that person, a person in front of you may have fallen from his dignity, from his humane activities, but you being a human shouldn't do that, because you are in yourself uplifted person, an uplifted person if you feel in it yourself. And you shouldn't, like, if anyone falls down, that doesn't mean that you also fall down from your place, from where you're standing right now. And what should you do either? You should be doing the things, the works that make him understand that he was wrong in some way. So this type of a reaction, that no matter anyone cheated me, anyone did anything bad to me, I'm not gonna do the same thing to him. I am gonna reverse his direction. I'm gonna defeat him in a friendly manner. When this defeating part, the defeating actions are also two types. This also happen in two ways. One is tit for tat, that we hear in idioms. That means this person did this to me, I'm gonna do the same way. I'm gonna repulse him the same way he did anything to me. And the other is to defeat anyone by your goodness, by your harmony, by your friendship behavior, by your amicable, by your cordiality, by your social upliftment, that you are uplifted in yourselves. So this defeat is of two types. And so when you defeat a person with this ideology, the tit for tat, that seems easier. All right, it seems easier. It is easier. Anyone slap you, they give him a slap right away, no matter what. So anyone did anything bad to you, just do anything bad to him in repulsion, just to answer him who you are and how dare he did this to you. How dare him did this to you. But the same way, in other way, you can also defeat him by your goodness, by your good behavior. And how that occurs, we'll discuss it right away, right now. So I was talking about this, tit for tat. So when you do this, I was telling that this is easier, but it never gives pleasure to the person who defeats someone or the person who is defeated. It is easier, but it never comforts anyone. It never gives any pleasure to any person, any party. But the other, what I was talking about, it pleases both the person. It is difficult. Yeah, it is difficult. But if you're completely done with it, if you believe in yourself that you can do it, so go through this path once. go through the path of goodness, harmony, brotherhood, oneness. And when that person is defeated by your good behavior, that defeat and your win remains stable. That has greater stability rate than one defeated by that thought process of tit for tat. And it pleases, it uplifts both the parties, the one who is defeated and the other who defeats the person. So this was the difference between both these types of behaviors, which we understood by this word, duswapnanashanam, that bad dreams, all sorts of bad dreams are eradicated, are dismantled when we are studying this scripture. And you'd ask, what does this knowledge contain? That all of our bad ideas, bad activities, bad behaviors, all sorts of vengeful thoughts, emotions are just wiped away? So this is the utility, this is the importance of this knowledge of this scripture. That you can only understand, I always say, that you can only understand a knowledge, a wisdom when you are doused, when you are willing to douse yourself with this knowledge. So just come in contact with this knowledge and you on yourself understand what is the importance and what is the intensity of goodness that this knowledge, this wisdom gives you. So we were talking about these bad dreams, and bad dreams, how it occurs and what type of destruction it leads you to. We spoke all those things. And now in this next line, in the next part of this line, the sage is saying, Bhakti Mukti Falapradam. So this scripture, this knowledge, gives you both types of what I was saying, these pleasures, gives you both types of comforts, spiritual comfort and worldly comfort. So a person requires both of them. Our entire scriptures, all of our scriptures are discussing this truth that only cannot work. It cannot work in your physical life too. You are not only a father, you're not only a mother, you're not only a son, you're not only a grandfather, you are related to vast sorts of people around you. So a person is not just one thing. The same way, this world, this entire existence doesn't work in one way. There is not just spirituality. On the other hand, there is not just this materialism. Both of them conjugate equally to make a person that he is meant to be. So that's what the truth is discussed in this verse, in this line. Bhakti Mukti Falapradam. It gives you both the fruits, this worldly fruit and spiritual fruit. And worldly fruit cannot be consumed in a better way without understanding the spirituality, the truth that it underlies beneath it. So it is giving you both the types of fruits. So this line was Dhanyam Bhakti Mukti Falapradam, and we were talking about these bad dreams, bad works, and this Bhakti Mukti Falapradam, it gives all sorts of pleasures, all sorts of comforts, worldly comfort and spiritual comfort, materialism as well as spiritualism, and both of them are necessary for a person, for the upliftment of a person, to make him uplifted in this nature and understand the truth where he lives. And in the next line of this verse, the sage is saying, Ramachandra Kathopetam Sarva Kalyana Siddhidam. And actually, converging on the life of Rama, converging on the teachings of Rama. Rama didn't give any teaching, he didn't create any sermon, but the life of a person speaks out. Always we hear this thing, that action speaks louder than words. So Rama's life, Sri Rama's life, he didn't give any speech, he didn't give any sermon, but he led such a life, he lived such a life that his entire life became a teaching for millions and millions of people, for entire human race on this earth. So that's why the scripture, the knowledge, the talkings, the sayings of the scriptures are converged mainly on Rama and making him a medium. What it does, it gives you all sorts of pleasures. It is just for the welfare of people. It just stands for the welfare, for the upliftment of people, and how, in a way that Rama led his life, that Sri Rama led his life, it inspires people. It makes people understand and promotes their thinking process that they could also uplift, elevate themselves as Sri Rama did. And every person has the power, has the energy in himself to do so. Just there is a requirement to spark that hidden power in yourselves, and then you don't have to do anything. The power itself will take you to the truth, to the utmost truth that you were meant for, that you were sent here for, that you got this body for. And next verse, the sage is saying, Dharmartha kama mokshanam hetu bhutam mahaphalam. That all sorts of spheres, all realms of life, which is discussed mainly in Indian scriptures, this dharma, this artha, kama, and moksha. So dharma, so the first requirement of life is dharma. The first requirement of life is to become a religious person. When I say religious person, I'm not just trying to connect you to some scripture, to any sorts of rituals or any sort of things. No, I'm just telling you to be the person, to be a human being first. This is dharma, not just tilting yourselves away from whatever way you want to live this life in a good manner, and just tilting yourself, orienting yourself towards rituals and practices. No, the rituals are, they're also part of a society, of different types of religions have different types of rituals. They're also sort of works, they're also necessary in some spheres, but if you don't want to do them, if you don't want to don't want to waste your time in rituals, no, there is no offense. There is no sin in that, all right? So what is the importance, what is the teaching, what is the purpose of the scriptures, of all these scriptures that are now on this earth? It doesn't matter, this is Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, Indian philosophy, what Sri Rama said, what Sri Krishna said, what Socrates says, what are the teachings of Jesus. So it doesn't mean who taught something. The only thing that means is you become the person, the true person, the truthful person. All right? So this is here, this is the purpose, and this is the requirement, this is the importance of these scriptures, that they're only made for the upliftment of people. They're only created for these people, these worldly people, to understand what is, to understand this vast ocean. This life is not just, we are known to only 1% truth of this life that lays on the surface, this wavy surface, the source, and looks glamorous. So an underlying truth, we're unbeknownst to all those truths that are underlying in this vast ocean of life. So this is the purpose of these scriptures, to take you to that real realm of life which was meant for you. I mean, which was the real thing that you are created as a human being. All right? You see an ocean, but the real pearl doesn't lay on the surface. On the surface, you just see waves rising and falling, high tide, low tide, this, that. But in the beneath the ocean, I mean in the deep ocean, there is complete still. It is completely still when we go in the depth of an ocean. So the same way this life works. In the upper part, on the surface, we'd see this life with so much pain. You'd gain pain as well as happiness. You'd gain pleasure as well as discomforts. But when you start moving down this ocean of life, you'd find yourselves in a reality, in the real form of ocean that is the reality of life. So these scriptures are really meant for making you understand what is the reality and what it takes, your belief. All right? Unless you believe something, you cannot understand that thing. Unless you believe something, you cannot inspire yourself to walk on that truth, on that knowledge. So first thing is believing. So first thing is trust. You start trusting. Sanchaya Atma Vinashati. Any person who is skeptical, who doesn't understand, who is suspicious about something, cannot totally understand that thing, cannot even cannot get closer to the truth. So understand this truth, what I mean, because it is the truth, it is the life. Because just eating and leading this life and one day dying and just everything is over, this is not the life. Every creature on this planet does this. So why were we provided with so much sophisticated brains and the system and the power to understand something, to think about something? Why were we provided with this knowledge, with this intelligence? All right? Only to understand and think about it for some time and understand the truth that we were made for, that we were created for. So this is the work of these scriptures, which lead us to the truth that we were meant for. And in the next verse, it says, that verse I was talking about, Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam. It makes you that religious person. And when I said religious person, I was not trying to tilt you towards rituals or any sort of things. I was just trying to make you understand that you'll become a pious person, you'll become a pure person, you'll become the person who understands what he was created for. And when you understand what you are, who you are, what your purpose is, then you understand the truth of life gradually. And Artha, it gives you prosperity, both spiritual prosperity and materialistic prosperity. Both of them are essential. Both of them are equally essential for leading this life. I said you in the previously. And next, it gives you right desire. All right? When this scripture is just wipe out all those sorts of dirtiness from our brains, from our thoughts, from our actions, from our lives, and make us the pious and pure person, so we could think anything rightfully. All right? We could desire anything truthful. We have the right desire, and when we have the right desire, that right desire, that right wish takes us to the right path, and ultimately we reach to a destination that was the right destination, right? So mokshanam. And lastly, it gives you peace. So this is the purpose of this scripture, which narrator, with the poet, is describing. First is dharma, second is artha, second is prosperity, both spiritual and materialistic. Third is giving you right sense of knowledge, giving you just wiping away all sorts of dirtiness and giving you the right vision. And lastly, when you have the right vision, you will understand what the destiny of this life is. And this was the sense of this scripture, which we taught in this class. And the remaining part of this verse we'll study in the next class, and just help everyone, be a helpful person, and help making this planet a better place for everyone, and just live your life with complete pleasure, comfort, with right vision in your mind, that what are you meant for? What is your real purpose of life? Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.